Welcome to the Red Pill Cartel Podcast with Davey Wavy, the epicenter for truthers, conspiracy, pop culture, and more.
I got Simon James Hallett here. He is otherwise known as, is it pronounced Rakshasa?
So yeah, that's it, man.
Rakshasa, yeah, from the unit called, or the entity Brahmastra. Yeah, I love it, man. I didn't get a chance to really dig in, but
Yeah.
I did play like the first 6 tracks or so from Solar Warden yesterday,
Great, man.
and I was just like my mind was melted, man. Like
Thanks,
black
dude.
metal, prog. It's got everything in it, and it's and electronics. Fucking amazing, man. Like it hooks you
Oh,
in right away. And I was showing my buddy at work, and like your little bio on Spotify, and he's reading through. He's like, dude, I can't believe you're getting this guy on. This is fucking amazing, right? Because
thanks.
him and I talk a lot about like truth related things and spirituality, whatnot, and it's just like totally right up our alley. So I was blown away by how like you incorporated this kind of wisdom and stuff such like that into black metal and not making it like the typical satanic shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know really where to start. Uh,
Just I mean, I'll just say like the world didn't need another satanic black metal band,
right, right.
and like all of the things that you're into is what I'm into, and I'm not an author, and I don't make documentaries or anything, so I decided to do it through music, and
Yeah.
Um, and that was my kind of way of talking about these things and putting it in the public eye or whatever,
Hmm.
even though it's quite mysterious in a way. But if someone checks out a title and goes, what does that mean? That's my job done. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
want to go, what is he on about? And then for them to go and do their research and
Uh-huh.
stuff. And I mean, with lyrics, you can't write like a whole book in there. You've only got certain words, so you just pick out like the main sort of things, and then you just chuck it out there, and hopefully people research it and or go, what, I have no idea what he's on about, and have a look. So,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
thanks for the kind words, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No, seriously, man. I'm like so excited right now. Like I'm just waking up, but I'm like full of energy already because I'm like, dude, I can't wait to talk to this guy. Like seriously. Shout out to Nick from Occult Rejects. I think
Oh,
he mentioned me to you because he's like, oh
oh,
yeah, this guy loves this shit, right? So
oh, yeah. Like like I've done a couple of podcasts now, but I did like music ones, and I was waiting for like people into conspiracy theories, or UFOs or anything, to reach out. And luckily, it was Liz. So big shout out to Liz. She's the one who found me and was like put him on the show, and now I've kind of done a couple. It's been really good, man. So I owe everything to those guys right now, where people are
nice.
contacting me. So I'm so grateful for them, man. Yeah. Thanks though, and
It's
thanks.
cool. It's cool, man. Like you're gonna find a way through that abyss that we're all in, right? Like we're all in some kind of like truth seeking abyss, and some of us are shadow banned, but
Right.
it doesn't matter. There's still people that cling on to my show and will
Yeah.
share it with other people and so on and so forth. You'll get there, you know what I mean? And like I was looking at your play counts and shit. I'm like, dude, this guy needs to get like boom, 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 right? Because the music
Yeah.
is just fucking spectacular. And like,
Thanks.
it's not for everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I get that. Like, a lot of people in the truth seeking community love and cling on to hip hop because it's very wordy. But
Right.
for me, I need loud amps in the face
Yeah.
to tickle my fancy, right? So this is like exactly my niche. So
Thanks.
when did you start writing, and then when did you, oh man, when did you start delving into truth seeking?
That's you know what? No one's asked me that question, and I've always wondered why not. Dude, I'll tell you what, like the main thing that got me into this stuff was my friend, one of my friends was like, um, the 9/11 thing, like, look into that, look into this. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, I was
Yeah.
in high school then. I remember watching it on TV and whatever else. And he's like, no, just look into it. And I think he said, like, watch Loose Change, the documentary Loose Change. And
Hmm.
I was just like, oh, man, a lot of the things that aren't adding up kind of, are getting explained in this thing. And I was just like, if they're capable of this, then what else are they capable of? And, it kind
Uh-huh.
of and the government, path. And then a friend showed, so I kind of had that in the back of my mind. And, this is well before I started doing Brahmastra stuff, but um, I started looking into, you know, um, ancient cultures, and then a friend showed me like this video of ancient architecture and how this lines up with frequencies and like this Kabbalah and ancient wisdom and stuff like that, and I'm just like, whoa. And then it
So
was
it sounds like you got put on the fast track with the frequencies because this was much later for me.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. So like it was I cannot remember the documentary what I watched specifically, but it was like I just couldn't believe it, man. And this just blew my mind. And then I was, looking at the pyramids and then all these other ancient structures. And then, I went down the UFO path and then the ancient astronaut path as well. And so that's kind of where Brahmastra is. I'll be talking about ancient cultures or ancient wisdom or occult knowledge. Um, but very much also into government conspiracies and UFOs and alien technology and stuff that's being suppressed, and that's kind of where I went, and that's sort of what Brahmastra is now. It's like a mixture of ancient alien theory and occult wisdom and government black projects, I guess. And yeah, so that's where it all happened. But yeah, it started with the 9/11 thing, and yeah, that just blew my mind. Yeah.
Did you feel on your journey that you had this great need or desire to get these subjects and topics out there to the masses?
Not
Or was
like
it just like, I just want to fucking blow people's minds with amazing black metal?
I think it was the former. Like, I can't like I became that guy at the party. Like,
Me too. Me
have you
too.
heard about
Yeah.
this? Have you talked about this? And I mean, I have a really good relationship with my folks and stuff, and I was telling them all about this stuff, and I still do to this day, whatever things that I've come across. And but they're old school. And my dad's an ex-serviceman, and he was he kind of think he's just like, man, what are you talking about and stuff like this. But like,
Fucking
uh,
boomers,
but
man.
yeah, I love him to death, so it's all good. But it was like I did become that guy, and I guess not in an annoying way, but just have you looked into this? Have you trying to spread it that way? But yeah,
Not
and
like a
then
not like an annoying street preacher or anything,
no,
right?
no, no, I'm not so kind of thing in the corner going,
If
oh
you
my
don't
god.
believe that Bigfoot is interdimensional, you're going to hell.
Yeah, yeah, that's it, I'm not that guy, so it's okay. And and then I was so into it and reading so many things, and I was like, look, I wanna do a musical project that I can do on my own because I do everything. I play all the instruments, I mix it, I produce it, I master it. Do the artwork now. Everything is all in house. And
Amazing. You don't owe anybody shit.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, the cost is just time, which is great. What better way to spend your time than creating something, in my opinion. And like, um, yeah. So I just was like, I want to get these messages out, and my way of delivering these messages will be in the form of music, and that's about it, man. Like it was just my way of contributing. As I said, I'm not an author. I'm not a documentary filmmaker. I'm just a musician, you know,
Yeah.
and this and that was my way of doing it. But the concept of whatever I'm singing about is number one. So that drives the sound of the music, you know.
Right.
As you said with like the synthesizers and stuff, like if it's technology based or mind control based, you know, I have to have synthesizers. It has to convey the message of the song. Um, and conversely, if I'm talking about ancient cultures, I'm not going to put wacky synthesizer sounds in there because it's meant to be primal. You know,
Mm.
it's got to have this tribal feel. You know, almost. And yeah, so it's every song's like a thinking of it as like a film composer. I think that was the best way. But you know, the thing is metal. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Which, like I said, is not everybody's cup of tea, but I urge my listening audience to check this out because, I mean, I've already sent it to some people and they're not really into this type of music, but they're like, holy shit, like the lyrics, you know?
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, you know,
yeah,
if the music doesn't hook you, then at least check out the lyrics because that's
yeah,
like, this is, like I said, it's not satanic. It's about seeking truth, right? And it
yeah.
might sound satanic.
Yeah, definitely, but it's not, you know, yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing for people to latch on to, you know, like I post the lyrics on all my things, so people can read it. And I totally get it. If you're not into extreme metal and you're not into that, just yeah, have a look at the words, you know, and
Yeah,
if you find some meaning with that, and that's cool, you know, I'm all for that. You know, I didn't obviously create Brahmastra to be like on the top 40 list, you know, like
obviously. Yeah, yeah,
it's not about that. It's just my way of conveying these messages in this vehicle of music, you know?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. It instantly clicked with me. You know what I mean? Because I heard like even though your vocals are guttural or in the
Screaming.
throat,
Yeah, yeah,
screaming,
yeah.
you can understand it,
Yeah, thank
right?
you.
Which
Yeah,
is
cool.
very important, I think, for especially for the topics that you're conveying.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're
And I kind of got a bit of a Al Jorgensen feel of your vocals. Did you ever get that?
I get heaps of different things. Like I had who have I had? I think I've had like Isan. I've had um like Acid King or Acid Bath, I think it was,
Acid
or
Bath, yeah.
Bath,
Who
yeah.
were actually reuniting apparently.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. And yeah, you know, so I get all those sorts of like just different things, you know. But my voice is it's whatever comes out, you know, like it's a high pitched sort of like black metal voice, you know. But yeah, thank you for the kind words though. I appreciate that. Thank you.
absolutely, man. What bands are influencing your style? Do you find?
Um, like in Brahmastra, like it was Satyricon first, you know. So if you listen to my first album, that's very like raw black metal Satyricon vibes. And then Behemoth,
Yep,
uh,
I was gonna say Behemoth. Yeah,
like when I released the Tibet album, that was really like Behemoth based, but like their latest stuff, so like the Satanist album, that really influenced me a lot. And then Dodom's Guard, which is like a really underground, really experimental kind of black metal band, and that's where I was like, oh yeah, this is up my alley because I love all different types of music, man. Like,
sure.
um, I went to I studied music at university, and like it was all we just played everything, whatever it was. But I really got into like the experimental side of things, like musique concrète, the stuff from the '60s in France, where they were just doing this weird stuff, and like the first on synthesizer ensemble pieces and things, and I loved that dissonance. Oh, great mug, by the way, the Kiss mug, fantastic.
Oh
Very,
yeah.
I love
Oh
it.
yeah, it's rock and roll over actually.
Right on, indeed, my man. Yeah, and you know, I just wanted to fuse it all together. So it was like black metal, but this one as well, like as you said, progressive, like the new style progressive as well. I love old progressive music like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Like I love that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's just like musical. Yeah, just it's so awesome. I love it. Like super talented. So I love old progressive, but the new stuff that I'm kind of doing is that new style progressive gent whatever. But because that influenced me a lot as well. Like I'm not big into those bands. Like you could say any gent band, I wouldn't have a clue really, besides Meshuggah. But the sound, it's the sound that I like. So if it's like Periphery, I don't even know any of their songs, but I've heard like the the rhythmic stuff that they're playing, and that influenced me as well on this album. So
Right.
yeah, each album's very different, and I'm kind of finding my way, and I think I'm getting there now in this. Someone said industrial black metal, and I think that's pretty close to
I
where I
don't
want to
like pigeonholing any kind of music into a category or a genre. Honestly,
go.
like if it sounds good, it fucking sounds good. Who cares what fucking category it is, Like it's
Oh,
like,
for
oh, it
sure.
sounds like underground fucking needlecore. Like, what the fuck is that? You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh,
Like,
metalheads are the worst for that, dude.
ah,
The
drives me
worst.
nuts. It's just I just fucking call it metal. You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah, absolutely. Look, I get it. Like maybe extreme metal and like heavy metal, I get the difference there, but metalheads are just, oh well he's doing like death metal vocals here and there's like, symphonic, and then oh there's like guttural, so now they're like black death, symphonic, and it just keeps piling on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can get
Until they crush it down into like a three
yeah,
word subgenre.
sure, man. And look, and to be honest, like with me doing this style of black metal, especially very modern sounding, genty, progressive, experimental, raw black metal guys wouldn't like that, and I knew
Mm.
that my audience that likes my earlier stuff, they're not gonna like this new stuff. But I kind of with this album I was really like, I don't care. I want to write the songs I want to write and fuck everyone else. And I kind of have now got the confidence to do that. Whereas I do feel when I was recording and writing early days, I was like, oh, they're gonna hate this stuff, and I can't,
Oh
I can't
well.
do this. I have to change, and I have to put this stuff in here to fit in with that culty black metal stuff. And this album, I was just like, no, fuck that, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the like Resurrection of the Templar, there's a ballad on there. You would never have a ballad on a normal black metal like record.
That one threw me for a loop. I was in my
Yeah,
car
yeah.
and that one came on. I was like, oh, this is different. And then you were actually singing, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
And then it kicks in, and I'm like, okay, fuck yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And then it ends with that very hypnotic chord progression. And
yeah,
that's where I
yeah.
was driving, and I was just like in another universe. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
the
And like,
idea. Yeah,
I better keep my eyes on the road here.
yeah. And I really appreciate you getting up early to do this one as well, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I know
I couldn't miss it, man.
the
I
time
was
zone
like,
did fuck
yeah,
for us.
yeah, yeah. I
Thank
have another.
you.
There's other podcasters out there in Australia as well that I want to hook you up with.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
After
Love
this,
it.
I'll let you know.
Oh,
And
thank
there's an
you.
Australian, so it'll be easier for you guys to connect.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't be much of like 12 hours is okay. I'm cool with that. But like yeah, man, it gets hard for other people. But yeah, like the Resurrection of the Templar, which is the song we're talking about, that ending is meant to be, I guess, like the awakenings thing, and it's meant to be almost hypnotic and trance like state, and the fact that that happened for you is that's the biggest compliment I can
goal
get, man.
achieved for you. Yeah, holy shit,
Yeah,
that's
thanks so much.
wild. And I
Yeah.
think like you saying "fuck it," I'm just gonna do what I want to do. I think that's very important because it will come across in your music that you lack passion and you're just doing it for the audience. You know what I mean? I think an
Yeah.
artist really has to be into what he's doing in
Yeah.
order for it to transfer over to the audience. So
For
I
sure.
think you're
For sure.
headed in the right direction. I think your other albums were a little bit more conceptual,
Yeah, so I did
whereas this one is more like different subjects and different songs, right?
yeah, absolutely. So this one, and my last one, which was just a self-titled, that's me breaking away from the concept album thing. Like the first one, like Alpha and Omega, Tibet album, 12th Planet and Montauk Ultra were all the concept albums I did. Because the things I wanted to talk about were just so large, and
Yeah,
and I did want to make a concept album, but yeah, it just ended up like I wrote four, which is just like insane, you know.
it's insane because it's funny. It took Kiss like what 7 or 8 albums to do The Elder.
And oh man, I've got one of my
Usually
number one
it's
favorites.
bands are like boom, 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 album. Okay, let's do a concept album. But no, straight out of the gate, this guy
Yeah,
does
yeah, I was
four fucking concept albums.
yeah, I was straight into it, because it needed a journey, and these things, these concepts, these truth movements, whatever you want to call it, like they're such a big topic, and when you have a multifaceted thing, like the Tibet album was based off the Nazis in World War II getting recovered spacecrafts, like that.
Mm,
And you have like the real society, and you have the reason why they went to Tibet, and you have like all of these things. I'm just like, man, this is another concept album. Like it's huge.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then 12th Planet was basically,
Nibiru.
yeah, the transcriptions
Yeah,
of the Enuma Elish, and yeah, they just you couldn't just chuck it in one song,
yeah.
Yeah.
Brahmastra. Let's get into the name Brahmastra. I looked into it like as soon as I heard the name. I'm like, okay, I know Brah means is like part of Brahma, which is the Hindu concept of the creator,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And from there you have the Brahmins, which are people who like study this, right? I think, or
Uh
become ascended a little bit,
yeah.
kind of. But
Like
Brahmastra is like a weapon
yeah.
that
Yeah.
whom
So
only God certain gods can possess, but they never really use it or something. I need you to go further into
okay.
this.
So Brahmastra is an ancient weapon. And it can be like the translations of it is like it's fired out of a bow, and it's like brighter than seven suns or something. I'm just talking off the top of my head, but it's a weapon, and you use uh, like a chant, or yeah, and that's how you summon the Brahmastra, and the Brahmastra, and then you have like Brahmastra Astra, which is even more powerful, and then I think you have Brahmastra Astra Astra. So yeah,
Yeah.
like it's like a really powerful ancient weapon. And what struck me as being interesting is Mohenjo-daro. So Mohenjo-daro is a place um just out of, I think it's out of Pakistan, or it's just out of India, I can't remember. Um and there is are ruins there. There has been a cataclysm there, and the sand in the area has been turned to glass. So
Right.
it's an immense heat. And the funny thing is, like in the Indian epics, like the Bhagavad Gita, they're talking about Brahmastra, that it was this huge weapon, and it basically sounds like a nuclear weapon, right? And the funny
Hmm.
thing in Mohenjo-daro, there's evidence of that. There's people fused into the ground. Basically, the sand has been um, turned to glass due to immense heat. So it looks
Yeah.
like this
Nothing to
weapon.
see here, folks. Nothing
Yeah,
happened down
yeah.
here ever, you
So,
know?
yeah, this ancient weapon had been used, and I just thought that ties in with my ancient astronaut theory. It's very metal based. It's a weapon. So that's why I wanted to use that name. And then Rakshasa is basically these entities or beings that were given out of the breath of Brahma, and they started to feast on him, and then he sent them down to Earth, and they were like shapeshifters and these like cheeky little deities, basically, and you know, um,
Apparently malevolent.
some are not.
Okay,
So
okay.
there is a story of one man having to kill one, because I think he stole one of the ladies from a village, and sorry, I haven't read about this stuff for a very long time, but
Yeah,
yeah. So I just thought, shape shifting being, that's a great thing, because my music's changing as well all the time, and
sure.
uh, and it fit in with the theme of Brahmastra itself. So yeah,
Simon, I think you were possessed by a Rakshasa. You might want to get a
yeah.
priest.
Oh, oh no. Yeah. Yeah. That's the stage name that I came up with, and but yeah, the band is Brahmastra. So yeah,
Yeah, it's cool. But right away from the name made me want to research.
sure, great.
You know what
Thank
I mean?
yes,
Yeah,
you're a person that is like that, which is great. And there's a lot of people who aren't. They just have no idea. But that's great that you went and had a look at it, and yeah, man, like those Indian epics are full on. Like there's a lot of stuff in there, and and yeah, a lot of information, a lot of wisdom in there, and a lot of things that kind of tie a lot of sort of theories together, if you listen to these things and read them. Like even the Vimanas, like the flying craft. They talked about chariots in the sky, and these beings that came from above down below, and then that ties in with the Anunnaki. you
yeah.
know it,
It
it's just
ties
great.
in with basically any holy book
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
all talk about stuff like this.
yeah,
And
exactly.
and one thing that drives me absolutely batshit crazy is when people take one book and say this is the absolute truth and the only way to God, right? It's
Well,
like,
yeah,
dude, have you looked at the other
yeah. I
books?
mean,
No,
I
they're
mean,
all satanic, you know.
yeah. I mean, Christians did a pretty good job with that. But I
Mhm.
mean, look, I mean, if you were to even think about this in a fairly like consistent way, you would go, the people who wrote it first must have come up with this thing first, and they experienced it and whatever. So we should be looking then, with that said, at Sumeria, because it's the earliest culture that we've found, the Sumerians. And then, there's Zachariah Sitchin who did his translations, and then there's people saying Sitchin is wrong and whatever else. But he's translated this whole thing that these Anunnaki beings came from Nibiru because their atmosphere was getting destroyed. They came down, they genetically engineered man, and now we look at, we can't, scientists cannot explain over 2,000 years how our brains basically doubled in size. So it does
Right,
look like genetic engineering. This tale of Noah, the story of Noah's Ark, comes from this book. The deluge comes from this book. So it's kind of weird that the Christian religion has taken this stuff, but it's been written thousands and thousands of years before Christ, and we should be looking at the earliest thing.
hmm.
The people who wrote this first. Um,
Pre-Egypt.
yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah, for
Well,
sure.
we can't even. We don't even know, man. I was
Yeah,
still judges
and
out
people
on
are now people
me.
are saying fucking ancient Egypt was in like near the Mississippi River and shit, right? So in the
What?
US. Yeah, and the
Okay.
Grand Canyon and all that. Yeah, not in the Middle East.
Hey,
It's
yeah.
crazy. But
I mean,
basically what Sitchin was doing is what Simon Hallett was is doing right now. He was taking what he learned and putting it in a form where people can research. And that's what
yeah,
you're doing in a musical way. So that's what I
yeah,
look at, right?
yeah. Thanks, man. Um, but yeah, like, I mean, these are all the things that I looked at, and I'm just like, I didn't learn about this history in school. Like, what the hell? You have to go to like archaeological school or whatever. And then even that's gatekept like to the max. Like the
Right.
whole if you look at the whole thing Graham Norton goes through with Egypt, it's just out of control, man. Like terrible. But I mean, Egypt is even mentioned in the Sumerian tablets. That was
Right.
said this is our spaceport, basically. You know, um, and they talked about their use of crystals in in the pyramids. Marduk, which was one of the sons in the Anunnaki, he changed his name to Ra, and Ra is the god of Egypt, and
Right.
Marduk wanted to be loved by the humans, and so you have a god, and then we have like some 1800s archaeologist comes in and he's like, oh, this is 4,000 years old. Wow, that's nice, or whatever, it's and they've still got that today, like that is their gospel, and
Right.
it's
Right.
go look at this other
Maybe
stuff.
maybe these entities or beings or quote unquote gods were just descended humans
For
who
sure.
were able to do things that we don't know how to do because we've been so suppressed and oppressed by things like religion, by the brutalist architecture, all the things that surround our modern day society, which is not really modern at all. It's crushed down and compacted into us not being able to reach our full potential anymore because whoever's fucking controlling the show doesn't want us to do it. They
Sure.
don't want us to get above them. And I
Mm.
think that's what's happening with this awakening process is that people are starting to realize, holy shit, I'm capable of much more than just being a 9 to 5 slave.
Yeah. I mean, look, the whole thought of an ancient like civilization being like advanced or having ancient technology and stuff. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a possibility, but in my belief, it's alien intervention. I think that the Egyptians were there and they inherited it. It was basically just not it was the spaceport of the Anunnaki. It's been left there, because they've obviously gone away from hundreds of thousands of years ago, and the Egyptians just kind of went there, and they'll settle there, and they've inherited it, and maybe they did their drawings on it. I'm not sure, their hieroglyphics, whatever. I don't know, but it's totally inherited, and it's like when in Machu Picchu, when the Spanish came, they said, "Wow, you've built this." No, like they said, we inherited this. This isn't. We did not build this. And I think that's the same thing with Egypt for sure. Like our culture is so much longer and more fruitful than what we're told. In my
Right.
opinion, that's just what I feel. I'm not gonna come out and say that I'm 100% right, but we've just got so much lost history, man. Like so much lost history, and people need to start having a look, and these gatekeepers of ancient architecture or archaeology are just they're criminals right now, man. In my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, it's stopping research, it's stopping growth, it's stopping development, and I think the quest for them is to uphold their gospel of whatever writers have come before, but not to seek the
Sure.
truth. And it's just like what
Another thing is podcasters too, or journalists or what have you. We are suppressed, and like, let's take Joe Rogan for example. I love what he does. I love his platform, but he can't go and say certain things because he will get quote unquote canceled. So the suppression of freedom of speech is a huge problem.
yeah,
And if you're getting paid to do something, that cash flow is going to be taken away from you if you go into certain areas of truth. And it's like, that needs to stop. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I totally agree, man. Like I'm banned from Bandcamp, which was my only source of income for me to sell these
Ah,
albums. You know, like
my friend, I sent shout out to E-Rock from Iowa Talk Guys. I sent him your stuff. He's like, dude, this is crazy cool. And he was like researching you. And then he's like, dude, his Bandcamp link is dead. I'm like, oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah, it
Yeah.
just got canceled like a week ago, and I was just
Son
like,
of a bitch.
like I've gone back on there twice. Like I just have to put another email in and sign up, whatever. But you're starting again. You got all your followers are gone, whatever. And dude, like it just happens all the time. And the reason, I think is because of my Tibet album. That's what caused all of this crap because it. I'm not a nationalist socialist. I'm not doing nationalist socialist black
Hmm.
metal. I've come out and said this so many times. Um, but I wrote about the conspiracy theory that the Nazis in World War II had alien technology, and I've talked about their cults and all of this stuff. I've said nothing hateful. I always get done for hate speech. There's nothing hateful. It's
Just
about
because the word Nazi comes out of your fucking mouth, you're a
yeah,
Nazi.
yeah.
This is
It's
why I
about
think what Kanye is doing right now is very important by putting that Heil Hitler song out because it's just showing people I should be able to just speak. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean,
It's
look,
not like he's a fucking Nazi or anything.
yeah. Well, it wouldn't last long if they were anyway. But like
Right.
this is the thing, and like I don't, and sometimes it'll be up there for like a year. I'll have my Bandcamp, and then someone, whether it's on like one of these work brigade things, and they're just like, "Oh, let's take down this," and it's like, for fuck's sake, man! Like I've come out so many times. I've said this. There's no iconography that is offensive. Just it's called the Tibet album now. Like it was called SS Tibet because that's where
Yeah, that would do it.
yeah, it was called that. But but then there's like full on nationalist socialist groups, you know, on Bandcamp. Like
Right.
legit, spreading all of this, stuff that
Hate propaganda.
all of that stuff,
Yeah.
and they're still on. And then you've got me from Australia who's singing about aliens and UFOs, and they're just like, "Nut banned," and it's like, fuck, because YouTube doesn't pay me. Spotify pays me like 0.2 of a cent per stream. And Bandcamp was a really good platform, and I loved it. Like I could set up a web shop, I could connect with people. They could go, I'll buy your album. They'll buy my digital download, or they'll buy my CDs or my vinyls or whatever. And now I'm just kind of at a loss. Like I have to go, oh man, I need to make a website now. Like I
Yeah.
actually I'm gonna have to do that. Like, which sucks, but it'll just take
Well,
a
you
bit of
could do that and then do your rounds on the podcast, such as mine, and
time.
it helps spread the word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just it sucks that like you don't even get a hearing about it. It's like you're
Yeah.
banned. Well,
Yeah. No,
it's
no
hear my
explanation,
opinion.
nothing.
Yeah, nothing. It's just like it's an AI response. You're banned for hate speech. It's like, sorry, where was the hate speech in any of
Hmm.
this? Like, fuck, So it's just the world we live in, and I've had to deal with it since, early on, like 2017, man. Like this has been going on for me, and it's a real pain. And I hate it that does
Yeah.
happen. Um, but yeah, and then Kanye can release his stuff, and it's controversial and people talk about it, but I don't, he's still going to be rolling in money, or
Yeah.
whatever. Nothing
Yeah.
bad's going to him, but the little guy from Perth, Western Australia,
I
like
know.
look, that
Yeah.
guy, fuck's sake.
Don't give him a fucking chance, right? Like, come
No,
on, man. Well,
fucking
that's the
annoying.
whole. That's the whole. I'll say it, quote unquote, satanic matrix, right? That we live in, where the people who are able to break out and have this massive career in the music industry are bought and paid for. They're
Oh
not
man,
really free. You know what I mean?
percent, man.
They
And
might
I
have
mean,
tons of money, but that's their god, right?
right, yeah, and I mean, like. the whole thing with Hollywood now is just fucking exploding, man. I think it's gonna get way worse. Diddy, the Epstein thing, like, excuse me, like they're finally kind of getting exposed for what they are,
Yeah,
and what they're into, and it's just fucking insane shit. Like, but yeah, I think that like the Epstein thing was the start of all of this, which is fucking great. Get that fucking scumbag away. But
yeah.
you know, in my opinion, it's a total CIA operation anyway. You
Oh
know,
yeah. All
uh,
the three-letter agencies are involved with. They're all interconnected. The KGB, the fucking what do you call it? The Jewish one. I forget what it's called.
Mossad.
The Mossad. Yeah. All these agencies all work together, man, to like put on this fucking grand illusion that we're in. It's all
It's just,
theater, like
yeah.
politics, everything. Like people are asking me, "Who'd you vote for?" I'm like, no comment. Because I don't
Really?
want to be the guy that says I didn't vote because I don't want to fucking vote another demon into the office that's gonna give you all these false promises and then come out and do fucking nothing about it except make things worse. Because that's
Right.
what every single fucking one does.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just had an election like 2 weeks ago, and you know, the guy who was prime minister before got in again because the other, and he's shocking.
Sounds
And
familiar. We're both part of the Commonwealth here, so
yeah,
that's what they
and
do.
like, yeah, and the other party leader was just an awful choice, and but I think in Australia a lot of independents are coming in, like a lot of the independent parties, but their votes go to the majors, and like I voted how I thought it should go, and it was like so many independent parties that I voted for, but their vote went to the guy that won. So,
Of course, yeah.
the guy that didn't want to win anyway.
Our
Um,
problem in Canada is that we had Justin Trudeau for like fucking I don't know 8 years or something stupid like that. And
yeah,
but the people who keep voting liberal, like there's a huge immigration problem. They just keep pouring in. They get all the shit they need when they get off the boat, and then of course they're gonna fucking vote the guy in again. You know what I
oh,
mean?
of
And all
course,
the
yeah,
people that have been here for like 30, 40 years are struggling day to day, living paycheck to paycheck, can't afford a fucking pot to piss in. And, we're getting
it's happening
fucked
here.
every single time. Yeah, yeah.
Happening here. Same thing, same thing. Like that's crazy, dude. So like, yeah, we're going through that same boat, you know. Yeah, but Trudeau, geez, man, that was rough. He was really bad. Like the COVID thing. I think the COVID thing woke up a lot of people as well.
Absolutely. It was like a second 9/11 kind of,
Yeah,
but in a
yeah,
broader, like a, well, 9/11 was global too, but mainly impacted the US, but COVID affected us globally, right? And I call it convid because I know it
yeah,
was I knew right from the beginning. I was like, something's off about this story, you
yeah,
know? Because
yeah.
I was
But
already awake, right? So I was telling my coworkers what I thought, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, this is bullshit." And then the next thing you know, people are fucking lining up to get the shot, and I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And my job is like asking me, "Oh, the pharmacy is giving away free COVID shots. Do you want one?" She has a checklist, and I'm like, "No, thanks, I'm good." And she kind of gave me this like, "Okay," and then like check my name off the list, right? But thankfully, I wasn't forced, right? But I
we were
saw
for
all these people that were just like willingly like excited to get it.
no. It was fucking crazy, right? Like,
Nuts.
we got forced. Like, so my state, um, we had a mayor in, and he well, geez, what do we call him? I don't think we call him mayors. I can't even remember now. Far out. I've just had a brain fart. Anyway, um, w- he mandated 75% of the workforce to get it to keep their job, and guess how many COVID cases we had in the state?
None.
None, none, zero. We had
Yeah.
no cases,
Yeah.
and like, no, we're mandating this. and if you don't, you'll lose your job. You're gonna die. You're an idiot. Rah rah rah.
Full
Um,
on Nazi regime right away.
dude,
Eh?
crazy man. And I was just like, I luckily didn't. I had to get it. I had to get it to live.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was fucking shit, man. And like, luckily, nothing bad happened to me. But
Right.
it just, but the good thing about this is like people have gone shit. The funny thing in Australia now, they're showing like vaccine campaigns because people aren't getting vaccines anymore. Like they're like, don't think that you won't get the flu. Don't think that you won't get this, that, and the other. I think people are just like, fuck off. Like you
Yeah.
fuck now, and we know, the emperor kind of has no clothes now, and people don't trust the government as much, and that's brilliant in my opinion. Like I
Yeah.
think exactly what what we all should have been doing in the first place, and we should have said no to this, but Australians, we were just we were literally bent over a barrel. It was,
Govern me harder, daddy, as they would say in
well,
Canada.
not
Yeah.
even like, a lot of my friends, there were the people like you said, excited to go and get the shot, and oh my God, like I did my bit, like
Put
you
my
were killing,
sticker on. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, all of this fucking like stupid shit, and it's just like, do you fucking have any idea what you are being controlled by your body now?
Yeah.
Like that's full on. Like fair enough. Like tell me this is gonna happen, or give me the choice of this or what. And the funny thing is, if you're a politician, you would have said, "We've got the vaccine. You can get it if you want it, or you cannot get it." You would have 100% approval. That's if I was a politician, that's exactly what you'd want. 100%, right?
Right. Right.
Mandated no. Like you have to get this. And it's like that's not a good political move. But
Hmm.
and like we
And
just
they
we just
all fucking did it
yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
All the
mean,
global leaders. Well, not. I wouldn't say all of them. Some of them were kind of speaking out, and the ones that did, unfortunately, got fucking shot or killed or poisoned.
I know like Florida, the governor of Florida really put up a fight on that one, right?
Hmm.
Good on him, man. Fucking awesome. Like that's a guy I'd want as my leader for sure.
Right.
Fucking stick it to
But
the man.
but
Bullshit.
then even things like that, you kind of look at and you got to question it as well because it's like maybe he's part of them too, but you know what I mean? Maybe he'll be on your side for now, but when he gets in office, he's going to be compromised, this and that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking trust any politician. That's my thing.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, right on. Yeah, no, I get that, man. And I mean that's with Australia at the moment. We're kind of looking like they're both shit. Well, I am. Some people are happy with the thing, but like I was like they're both just fucking terrible. Like there's no chance in any of this that there's going to be a good outcome. So I
Right.
voted independent parties, and I think that's kind of our only shot, like I guess, at getting out. But it's crazy that Canada and we're a part of the Commonwealth. We're all the same, right? Like it's
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to get political and shit with
No,
you.
it happens, man. It's got to be discussed at some points because it's part of the awakening process, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I hate politics. I think it's all a fucking show, but it needs to be discussed here and there,
Sure. Yeah.
just to get people's heads in the right state of mind where it's like, dude, like they're not for you, you know.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah. Yeah.
supposed to be serving us, but we're serving them, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it,
It's
man.
uh it's a it's a reign that needs to be ended.
Mm. Yeah.
And I
It's
think
tough.
I think it's slowly but surely coming together.
Yeah, I think I mean, with that said, I don't want to go under a dictatorship or anything like that, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I definitely
Or
don't want
even
co
worse, a theocracy.
right. Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be the worst thing. And then that's kind of what I was predicting Trump would do. Because
Really?
there's talk about him like enacting the Noahide laws, right? And
Okay.
him being in bed with Israel, which
Right.
he just kind of I think he just said fuck Israel now, like recently. as from, and which was like, holy shit, okay, that was different because he had the Torah crown. Israel gave him the Torah crown, right?
Right.
And I'm like, oh shit, this guy's gonna. So everybody's saying, oh, he's gonna enact out Noahide laws, which is fucking dangerous because that's theocratical, right? So yeah, it's I don't know, man. We're in a crazy fucking time.
Yeah, it's
It's just
crazy.
it's fun. I think it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
I'm having
exciting.
fun with it. I'm doing this show. I'm laughing about all the things that these people are doing to us because I'm like, no, you're not gonna kill my vibe, bro. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and excellent. And that's it, you know. But people, yeah, there's just yes men everywhere, you know,
Yeah.
and crazy thing, and it's just like, wow, you literally have none of your own thoughts are there anymore. You've lost them
Yeah.
all. Oh, wow, that's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
It, man, and good people too.
Very good people. Yeah. You still gotta love them and try to take
Absolutely.
their hand and guide them not into the light, which is an awesome fucking song. Don't
Ah,
go
thanks.
into the light. Yeah,
Yes,
that
thank.
was kind of a cool segue, right?
Yeah, that was
Uh,
very good. I'm actually impressed. I'm very impressed.
that was
Yeah.
one thing I've been. That song title struck me right away because I was like, I was looking into that quite a while ago about how the light, you know, how they say go into the light. It could be a trick into
Yeah.
being recycled back
Yeah.
into this
Oh.
incarnation process. And
Yeah.
that light that you see is actually you being incarnated again through the womb, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Tell me your thoughts about
yeah,
this.
yeah. So the theory for that for me is like um it is an alien entity that does bring you through, and you are basically recycled through this. They call it the soul cube. Well, I think that's what they call it. That's what I call it anyway. Like this soul cube, and you are sp- spit back onto the earth, and you know, it's feeding off this negative energy. So like, as the world is going bad, you know, there's negative energy, they're feasting off that kind of thing, or you know, it's just sort of that reptilian idea. But yeah, the don't go into the light is that reincarnation process, and you need to break that and go to the source. The source of oneness, or the law of one, is not the light. And that's what that song was about, man. So thank you that you understood it. That's excellent. I really,
And
really.
right away, what I loved about that song too, not only just the title, but how it starts off with that synth,
Yeah.
and then it hits you with the and like that unexpected chord progression, and I was like, oh shit, this is
Yeah.
awesome, love it.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's really what that song is about. And that's kind of really interesting because, like, if you've heard about people on DMT, and
Hmm.
some people have gone to this chamber sort of place, and they see souls getting pushed out, you know, and which is like crazy, because I'm like, that's the soul cube, man. Like, I believe DMT is that gateway. I've never done it, but it really interests me. But
I'm
uh,
kind of freaked out by it, to be
oh,
honest.
yeah, man.
I'm still
I
here.
think
I'm
it's
just gonna grab a drink, so keep talking.
sure. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, when people have done the DMT thing and they've gone to this other place where they've seen souls getting pushed out to Earth, and things like that, um, that kind of struck a chord with me as well. Like, so yeah, I just wanted to write the song like "Don't Go Into the Light" for that reason.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I love it. It's
Yeah, thanks.
I gotta check out all your stuff still.
Oh,
For some reason, I was just like, fuck, I better listen to something so I have some conversation here, right? But it's just like
you've done it.
work. Yeah, yeah, I think I did some pretty good
Done a really
content
good
for
job,
this.
man.
Yeah.
Like, like with the small amount of time. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff in there. But yeah, Solar Warden's the new one, and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at this time, like that experimental kind of progressive and death metal, black metal, like all
Yeah.
of that stuff. Yeah, man. So like,
Where does the title Solar Warden come from? What I got from that is like the Ascended Masters.
oh, okay. No, Solar Warden,
Okay.
um, a project that Gary McKinnon found in it in the 90s when he hacked the NSA through the
Okay.
computers, and he found what did they call non-terrestrial officers. So that meant people who were not on planet Earth. And he started to get a photo, and then it was gone. But he found a log of non-terrestrial officers, and then through the times, through research and stuff, that links into kind of the guys who've said they've done 20 and back missions. If you've ever heard of that before.
No.
No, okay. So these are guys who and girls. Um, um, I'm trying to find the remember the female's name who did who talked about it really really well. So basically through childhood, they're abducted and they're sent to like a moon base. Well, that's what they believe where they went to like the moon
Or
and
our moon, which is a base, probably.
yeah, yeah. Well, so
Yeah, yeah.
that place, so the moon base, and they were taught things, and there was a mix of extraterrestrial and human entities at this place, and they were brought up there as children, and then basically they're taught some things and given problem solving and like psionic ability and stuff like that, and
Sweet.
then they're yeah. And then basically one day, when they're about teenagers, it's like where you're going on a 20-year mission um, to do, basically the war that's in the Kuiper Belt. And
You know what
yes.
this reminds me of? That movie, The Last Starfighter.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. They
Classic.
probably got it from that, you know?
Yeah, it could do. Who knows? But yeah, and then they lived this full life. They've been in wartime kind of thing, and then they are regressed. So they're physically regressed, and then they're put back into their bodies and using alien technology, and then yeah, and it's called a 20. So they're gone for 20 years, and then they're back basically the day that they went to sleep, which is just crazy,
Wild.
right? Yeah, wild. And you know,
Sounds kind of like Avatar as well.
yeah, I don't know much about Avatar. I've seen it
Okay,
like
so
one.
their consciousness is put into like an avatar, like an alien avatar, so that they have
Oh,
to fight a war, right? Yeah.
sure. Okay, yeah.
It's
Similar to that, right?
unbelievable, man.
Yeah. So that and one of the things was called like Solar Warden. And so that's what I wanted to name the album, and it was a strong name. And yeah, I'm obsessed with like these 20-year back missions. Like I've written a couple of well, a couple of my songs have the reference to these things, but like Solar Warden was like, all right, cool. I'm finally gonna actually do a song about it. And yeah, so that's the last lyric on that is oh God, oh I'm trying to remember regression, like something like physical regression, I think,
Okay.
and then so and it finishes abruptly, just like the people who would have been transported back. You're back to where you are now. So yeah, man, crazy stories. Whether they're real or not, whatever, they're great stories anyway. And but yeah, I think there's definitely a grain of truth. There's one lady, someone Rose, I can't remember her first name, but she talks about it really, really well. Like she doesn't seem like a person who makes up these outlandish stories and was like, "Oh, I was a general," and all of this stuff. She was like, "I
Right,
was
right.
this like piece of shit junker around, for ages." And she talks about like the MyLab techs and stuff. So like that's all linked down to basically like Brookhaven Labs technology and stuff like that. So yeah, man, crazy stories. Definitely look at some 20 and back stuff if you can. But
Dude, that's a definitely a rabbit hole I feel like I want to go down now.
definitely. But you look at
Yeah,
this Rose lady. Don't look at Corey Good. Corey Good's a grifter,
right,
man. Like,
right.
well, in my
That's
opinion.
another thing we all have to be careful of as truth seekers are the grifters. There's
Yeah.
so fucking many of them, man.
Oh man,
Like
it's
I get
getting.
people grifting me in my DMs on Instagram. They're like, "Oh, dude, check this out and sign up." I'm like, and I look at it, I'm like, "Yeah, you're blocked." you
Yeah,
know,
like
like
you like even I don't know if you're following like all the UFO kind of stuff at the moment with like Lou Elizondo and the Congress and the hearings on that, and then you got Jake Barber who's come out. Are you familiar with that kind of stuff that's going on?
oh no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm big into UFOs and government stuff. So that's my kind of jam. So I'm into that. I mean, you're just like, who am I going to trust now? Because basically, Stephen Greer,
Who
he's
looks like an ET.
yeah, yeah, he's kind of leading the way, saying like
Right.
CE5, psionics, whatever. Jake Barber's just come out and said we use psionics and CE5 style stuff to summon aliens. And then so that gives a bit of accreditation to Greer, but Greer's like, don't listen to all of these government guys who are coming out saying that they're a threat because they're just trying to pull us into this big war. And then they're, Lou Elizondo sitting there going, look, I was the head of ATIP and like, I've seen this and I've seen that, and Grush has come out, and it's just like, man, which dude are we meant to believe right now? Like, it's
Right.
such a mess, and UFO people are the worst, and I'm not on the forums and stuff like a lot of people are, but you know, you we don't know who to trust now. Like there's so much like disinformation out there, and you don't know which one to believe. It's crazy right now. Like
Yeah,
just
it is
it's
crazy, and
everywhere,
there's all kinds of different ideologies going around, theories, people who hate people because they don't believe the earth is flat,
right? Oh yeah,
or,
yeah,
and it's like, I'm just in this shit show laughing at all of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
for
if
sure.
you want to believe the earth is flat, fucking good on you, brother. But don't
Yeah,
hate other people. That's where I draw the line,
yeah, for sure,
you
man.
know?
And I mean, that's the thing. We all have to understand. Like everyone has a belief. Like everyone has a belief, or they or they whatever the belief is, whether it's religious or government based or like politically based, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like we've all just got to get along anyway. We're all stuck.
Absolutely.
Let's just go with the flow, like
Mm-hmm.
I and once again that COVID thing, man, like that was the thing where people just don't fucking talk to me, man. Like
Yeah.
you fucking do this, like fuck you,
6 feet, brother.
yeah. Like, what the fuck,
You
man?
stand
Like,
on that sticker, I'm gonna stand on this one, and we're good.
yeah. But even, but even like, just like, oh, you don't believe in the shot. Like, just unfriend me, man. Don't talk to me again. And it's like,
Yeah.
come the fuck on, dude. Like, how fucking like brainwashed can you get, dude? Like,
We have to discern what is trying to divide us and kind of take a step back and look at it and laugh at it and be
for
like,
sure.
no, bro, I'm not gonna hate you because you got your shot. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hate people that didn't get it,
Yeah,
because that's another divide and conquer tactic. So
for
I'm not
sure.
going to fall for it, right?
Absolutely.
So anything like that that comes along politically, whatever, I'm not going to fall for it. It's
Yeah.
and I think that's what the fucking Holy Spirit is supposed to be. It's like the discernment of truth, right?
Yeah.
It's not something that comes in and possesses you and makes you go, "Oh, I love you, God." This and that. No, it's just your fucking instinct that tells you what's right and what's wrong, and
I,
doesn't divide us from our fellow humans.
yeah. And I think a lot of people lost their way with that. But yeah, man. I mean, uh, yeah, there's just cra- I never grew up with division like that. Like we never had like division. Like you could always say like, I like this, I like that. Oh, okay, cool, man. No worries.
Yeah, it was like that in like the 80s and 90s, the 70s, everything. And now all of a sudden there's these fucking huge political movements that are just driving us apart. They're driving wedges in between their brother and sister and all that shit, dude.
Cult thinking, right? It's cult thinking. It's brainwashing and just how quick it can get people, man. Like holy fuck! Like I was really that's the one thing that really shocked me with the whole COVID thing was just like how quick people will be manipulated and die on that hill,
Yeah,
die on the hill, and then we'll see anyone else who's different as a fucking enemy. It's like what the fuck, dude? Like
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
couldn't can't get over it. I said,
It's fucking nuts.
dumb ages,
E-
bro.
Even
Like
the song "Holy Wars" by
right,
Megadeth talks about all that shit. And when I listened to that as a 12-year-old, I was going through the lyrics and I was trying to make sense of it because in my young 12-year-old brain, I'm like, what is he talking about here? Okay, war because of religion. Okay, I get that. Brother will kill brother, spreading blood across the land. Don't look now to Israel because it might be your homeland, all that shit. And I'm like, what is this all about? So Megadeth early on kind of woke me up. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. I mean, like peace sells as well. Like the
Mm-hmm.
lyric that like that's fucking smart dude, man. Like I'll give him that for sure. Like his lyric writing's great. Like Dave Mustaine's lyric writing's great, and he is political, but without being too political.
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine or anything like that.
He's also Christian without being too Christian.
Wow, that
I
yeah.
think he's just standing for what he feels is right?
Yeah, but I mean, the guy was a fucking huge drug addict,
Junkie, yeah.
like 13
It
times.
started off with the Quaaludes, and then Gar
Yeah.
Samuelson came into the picture, the jazz
Uh,
drummer, and go, "Hey guys, want to try some heroin?" And then boom, the whole band was fucking hooked on heroin.
and speedballs and whatever else,
It's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah. But great, like such a cool band, and
Cool backstory about how he was the lead guitarist of Metallica, and then he got kicked
yeah,
kicked off the fucking bus at a gas station, and then boom, I'm gonna start my own band. Fuck those guys.
yeah, he had a cool attitude, man. And then he lost his way as well. Like I know he had problems with like Nick Menza with like he was like piss testing the band. Like, no, we're a full sober band. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, I think he's just one of those guys who lived life too extreme. You were
Yeah,
either absolutely fucking out of your mind on drugs, or you were like the cleanest fucking person ever walked the earth. There was no like middle ground for him. But yeah,
it's
crazy.
hilarious.
Yeah,
And then apparently Nick Menza got like caught jerking off to gay porn on a bus or something like that. I don't
that one.
know.
I, I guess.
God rest his soul. He's gone
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Shit.
great player, man. Fucking what the Rust in Peace lineup, man, is just
Yeah.
times.
And
Like, what?
Marty's big in Japan now, right?
Yeah, man, huge in Japan. I mean,
Fucking
damn,
awesome.
it's awesome, man, and it's great, and well deserved too. What a musician,
Yeah.
kill this stuff. Yeah.
It's fucking amazing, man. Well, I could probably talk to you for hours, but it's probably late for you now, right?
Uh, no, it's cool. Like, if you want to go through some other stuff, I'm cool, or we can end it there. I don't mind. It's all good. Whatever you
I
want.
think I think we'll wrap it up. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I will ask you where my audience can go check you out.
Right
Do you have
on.
like
So,
a one-stop shop where it links to everything?
um, like I have a Spotify,
Hmm.
and I can send you the links for the Spotify if you want, and basically my YouTube, my Facebook, I can send all that to you. My
Okay.
Instagram as well. Like I'm really bad at Instagram, but best. Luckily I got like looked at my messages, was like, oh shit, I gotta do that. So yeah, I'll send you my Instagram, Facebook,
Oh, I
Spotify.
pretty much know where to find you,
Okay,
but and
yeah,
I'll add in
that's
all the links. I was just wondering if you had like a link tree that had everything in one that they could go to, because that's what I have. So
I need to get onto that. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, it's worth it, man. Like, because like the traffic will be directed there, and it'll link everybody to where they want to go to check you out.
Right on. All right, it's called Linktree. Okay, I'll have to have a look at
Yeah,
that. Sweet man.
yeah, man.
Thank
I'm looking forward to deep diving into your music and sharing the love, spreading the message.
thank
Yeah, just really appreciate you coming on and do it again sometime.
Absolutely, man. Please, like whenever you want me back, I'd love to do it again. And thank you so much for getting up early and stuff like that for me. And yeah, just all the best for you, man, and your show. And I thank you so much. And yeah, send me that Australian dude's
Oh
stuff.
yeah, Drew. His name's Drew Misson. He's actually a teacher, but he has a
Right on.
pod. He has like a few podcasts he does.
Mhm.
He's very kind of renowned in our truth seeking circle. He's a great dude.
Right.
Yeah, I'll send him your way and link you guys up. And yeah, for sure. Cool, man. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for coming on. And right back at you. I wish you success. I wish that you get out of this bullshit suppression and keep rocking, brother.
Thank you so much, man. And really nice to speak to you and meet you, man. Thank you.
You too. You too. Take care.
Brother.